to Survival Preparedness for the Beginners. And on this video this week, we're going to be covering how to store food in Mylar bags and what you have to do and what you need to do this with. First thing you're going to need is Mylar bags. This is a gallon size, this is a half a gallon size. You can get them in all different sizes. They go up to a 5 gallon. It'll fit in a 5 gallon bucket if that's the way you choose to do it. I do mine in smaller portions. You can get these on Amazon. I'll put a link to the description below. And you're also going to need some oxygen absorbers. And there'll be a link for these in the description below from Amazon that you can get these. I found Amazon was one of the cheapest places. I looked at quite a few different ones and they had the best price, free shipping if you're a Prime member. You're going to need a Sharpie pen to write on the Mylar bags, and you'll need a pair of scissors to cut your any of your labels if you choose to do so. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but you can cut off anything that, you know, the recipe that goes with the product and the nutritional value, which may be very helpful. I would definitely do the nutritional value. A lot of us know how to do, you know, cook and make everything else. But at least if you have the nutritional value, you know how much nutrition you put in your system on a daily basis. As I talked about once before in one of my videos that I'll put a link to, talking about calories and the intake in calories and doing your servings. You also want to maybe pick up a jelly jar, I call them. Any type of a jar that has the metal seal lid. So this way here, if you do not use all of your oxygen absorbers when you open them, you have to put them in something to keep them so that they stay nice and strong for you and they don't go bad. And you have to do this stuff, in a sense, kind of quick. Also, I'm going to show how I do mine instead of going out and buying the Mylar bag sealer. It is very easy to use the iron. And I have a piece of wood here that I made that you can lay the bags on and get a nice seal. And so we're going to be doing up a few things here today. We got some salt, we got some oats, pancake mix, some instant potatoes, and then of course the pasta. These 2 cans here are just to keep everybody out there happy. They don't go in the Mylar bags. So I'm going to pause for one moment. I've got to reposition my camera so that you guys get a good idea of what I'm doing and you can see it, not being so far away, and we'll take it from there. I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we got the camera repositioned here, we're going to do up a few things here. Alright, I'm going to take your Mylar bags, and I've already wrote on my Mylar bags. You put the date, what it is, and how much. Alright, so I'm going to do, I buy my salt like this right now. You can buy it in 25-pound bags if you go to like your big box stores, mostly like Sam's, Costco, those kind of places, BJ's. So what you do is you take and you open these up. You've already got your bag going and it's already pre-opened. One end's already sealed, both sides. So you just take, and this is the hard way of doing it. If you had a big bag, you could just be scooping it right out. So you just take and open that up. We'll go ahead and open the other one. And I just take the metal dispenser right out of it. Makes it go quicker. So you end up with something like that. You take your bag. Let's turn our iron on. You want to put your iron on the hottest setting, which is usually like your cotton, linen, somewhere in that area. Whatever is the hottest. They can open that up. And proceed to pour. Now with salt, you don't need to put an oxygen absorber in with your salt. The salt will stay. And don't store it in these, I've seen where some people take these, they put them inside the Mylar bag. No, don't do that. Let me just shake that down. We got room. And I put 2 pounds in a half a gallon bag. Now I did a bunch of my other bags that I will show you here in a minute. I didn't do all of them because the video would be 2 hours long. So you take that, my iron's ready. So I always just like to pull it up. So you lay it down on your board. You get your board, you put it right here. Mine kind of spins a little, but you lay it down and you want to try to make sure you get no product into where you're going to seal. That is very important, no matter what you're sealing up, whether it's salt, sugar, flour, oats, whatever. You don't want to get it into where you're going to be sealing the product. So I found it easy. So if I lay it down so you get a nice edge with the 2x4 or a piece of wood, whichever you choose to use, the product is down in here, but I'm going to be sealing up here. Now all I do from this point is I only do about half to 3/4, and you hold it down and you count to 4. Alright, you pick it up. Now you still have a little area over here that you haven't sealed yet that you can take and push out any excess air. And once you do that, then just go ahead and finish off the seal. Now, I flip mine over and do the back seal just for a couple of seconds each time, just to make sure that it's sealed really good on both sides. And there you go. You turn it upside down, nothing comes out. You have 2 pounds of salt, all ready to go. All right. Let's move my iron over a little bit. Now we're going to do, we'll do a thing of oats. We'll use some oxygen absorbers. Now if you notice, on the oats, you can see that I went ahead and I just wrote on there. It's pretty basic. You know, today's date, 12/8/19, Quaker oats. The servings, there's 30 per container. There's 150 calories per serving. And then the real quick measurements, you know, to make, you know, to half a cup of oats, a cup of water, and a dash of salt. You take this. Now, when I'm doing something like this, sugar and flour, I don't try to pour it into here. It'll be a huge mess. So I just take and I just slide mine right over the top. And I do the same with the flour, the sugar. It just makes it so much easier. And you just kind of flip it over and just slowly pull up. And voila, oats are in the bag. Now, we got to get oxygen absorbers for this one. Back here with the rest of those. So I have my oxygen absorbers right here. And in the oats, I'm going to put 2. You can put 3. But I think 2 is pretty good. It sucks the bag down pretty good. Once you put those in there. Same principle as before, you want to get anything inside of your seal line. That is probably the most important thing, is nothing in the seal line. Hold it for 4 seconds. There's not much air in here, so I'm just going to move right over. Finish off the seal. Flip it over real quick. Now when you flip this over, that's going to be really hot. So just be careful. That's the only thing, the only drawback is it's pretty hot. And there you go. Your oats are all sealed up and ready to rock and roll. I would probably put 2 oxygen absorbers in there, but I have just enough to do the last few things that I want to show you guys. So I have 1 oxygen for my cornmeal and 2 for the pancake mix. But I did put 3 in my other bag. When you're doing pasta, oh, I don't want to do that yet. When you're doing pasta, especially shells, any type of pasta, it takes up, you have a lot of airspace in between all the, it's not like a solid like sugar and flour are. So you need to put more into your pasta bags. So in my shell bags, I put 4 oxygen absorbers in, and they're 200 cc's a piece. And like I did say earlier, I'm going to put a link in the description below so you guys can all see that. Now another thing is, take the stuff out of the bag it came in. Because see all that air? That's what we want to try to get rid of. Because there's air inside that bag. So, we just cut the bag. We're going to try to do this like I do the flour. Put it right in. Grab the end. Pull it right out. Just the sides. Grab us 2 of these. Toss those down in there. And when you're doing this, you want to be as quick as you can with the oxygen absorbers. So what I typically try to do is get everything set up and ready to go, and then I start, as I just drop the oxygen absorbers in and heat seal. And the denser the product, the less you need of the absorbers. So remember that. You don't have to put like 3 or 4 in like sugar and flour and stuff like that, because it's so dense it takes up all the space. And there you go. And that bag's already starting to get hard from those oxygen absorbers because there's like no air in it. It's amazing how quick some of that goes. Now I got some cornmeal. Same thing. You can open this up. Cornmeal's a little messy because it's so fine. It's like sugar. And then your bags. There we go. And you just take and just keep pouring it in. always try to hold it up and then pull down because you get these little corners and stuff and they pinch right in on you. And it's kind of like wasted space. Well, that's all I'm getting absorber. So I'm going to have to order more of those. And more of the half-gallon bags because I'm just about, this is my last one. So you see what I do here? Put that down and I fold this right over. And you could make your seal as big as you want to. I wouldn't go any smaller than an inch. That's just my preference. I've seen people where they do, you know, a half an inch, whatever. If you do have the sealer, it does, the Mylar bag sealer it uses less product. But then again, I'm trying to show people how they can do this on their own, like I'm doing, without having to buy that said product. Now maybe somewhere down the road, I might do that, but right now I don't need to do that, because this is working just fine for me. All right, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, and I'm gonna move some stuff around, and I'll be right back. So as you can see, we got quite a bit done today. We did some Mylar bags. We had quite a bit that was packed away. I did use up all my half gallons today and all the rest of my oxygen absorbers, so I'm going to have to go and buy more. I will get those from Amazon. I mean, we did cornmeal, we did some angel hair pasta, oats, linguine. What else did we do here? Did all kinds of. We got salt, 2 different kinds of salt, instant potatoes, fettuccine. I can just take and store all this stuff away. I usually take and I store all my stuff in the white buckets. They're like food grade buckets. You can get a lot of that stuff at your local bakeries if you go there and you talk with them. I know around here it's first come, first serve. They don't hold them for anybody, so you have to know exactly when they're using them, and they'll give them to you for free. You can buy them at Home Depot, and Amazon sells them, Lowe's. I picked mine up at Lowe's. I think they're like $6 for the standard bucket and lid. Now, if you want the screw-on lid where everything's nice and easy, because I just bought a lid puller for $4. But you know, if you buy, if you want to buy the screw-on lid, that one there, you know, that's going to set you back probably $10-15 just for that, just to have that feature of just screwing it on and screwing it off. But it's a great way, and like, you know, I wanted to show everybody how I just use, you know, a piece of wood. I use my iron, and I can take and I can seal the bags up. I like to put a nice, when possible, a nice good 2-3 inch seal on mine, just for extra protection. If you run your seal too close to the top, you do take a chance of, you know, if it didn't seal just right, a little bit of air can get in there, but the more you can seal, the better. But I'm a good rule of thumb, 2 to 3 inches, depending on what it is. Oxygen absorbers, like I was saying before, if you're doing any type of pasta, especially pasta, you know, you have to put 4 oxygen absorbers in there at least to help, because there's so many air pockets. The denser the product, like I was saying, the less you have to put in. So like in my flour, I put 2. In my oats, I put 2. Some people say to put 3 to 4. I did a bag before 2. It's shrunk it right down. So I mean, it worked great. Because they are, you know, they can get expensive. So if I don't have to put it in there, I don't really want to put it in there. If 2 will do the job, you know. I do not put any oxygen absorbers in my salt. I get the most of all the air out, and it's sealed tight, and this will last if you keep it in a cool, dark place away from sunlight and all that. I wouldn't store it in your garage. I'd try to find a storage area in your house or something that you could put this all together in. I use a empty closet, so it stays room temperature inside, you know, because it's always at least 70 degrees in my house, you know, between 70 and 75, depending on the day. So everything stays regulated in there, and it's dark. And if you put it in the buckets, you don't really have to worry about the light part of it, but you still have to want to maintain the temperature. This also depends on what type, you know, and where you live at, and you know, if you have field mice, if you have any types of rodents or something, you know, you want to make sure that you're taking really good care, because they can eat through these. And you know, certain little creatures out there can also chew through the plastic buckets, but hopefully nobody has any of that kind of stuff in the house. But I just wanted everybody to be aware that that can't happen. These aren't bulletproof. When you do your pasta, especially your spaghettis and weenies and stuff, you have to be careful when you're trying to get the most air out that you don't puncture the bag, because they're like little stiff little needles in there, and they will puncture the bag. So what I tend to do is I take and I break the pasta in half inside the box, and then I put the pasta down inside so it all lays flat in the bag. Just a little tip that I do. This way here you're not fighting with it and puncturing a bag, and you know, because they're not cheap either. You don't want to puncture it and then you got to throw it out. You know, these you can. The good thing about Mylar bags is if you do have some way to reseal them, depending on what the situation is, the reason why you did these, you can open these. A lot of them have tear openings. You can open them up and use what product you need, and you can reseal it. One reason I do stuff in smaller portions and stuff, because there's just 3 of us here. So, you know, for me to really stockpile for if I had a major family living with me, or you know, they were right next door or whatever, you know, then granted, you know, you can get into the 5-gallon Mylar bags with the 5-gallon pail, and you put whatever you want in there, and then you seal that up and put the lid on it, and you're good to go. But you know, I'm not in that situation, so to me it's a waste for a smaller family to do it that way. Larger family, if you're feeding an army, yep, it's probably the way you want to do it, because it's a lot cheaper if you're buying it in big bulk from some of the major stores. But rather than that, I don't know if anybody has caught a glimpse of any of the bags, because I did say that I would do a video next Saturday, if work permitted. This is Sunday, the December 8th, and I had some time to kill, so I decided to do the video now, not knowing what next weekend was going to bring. So on that note, I hope everybody has a great week. I'm going to I got to go find room for all this stuff now in my house, and we are in the process of trying to put together some more different style videos. Right now, like I said before, it's a real busy season for me, so if you don't see me, it may just be till way I have to be till after Christmas and the beginning of the year. But I want to thank everybody for everything that you do for my channel. I want to thank you for all your likes. If you would, please hit that like button, hit that share button, click subscribe, and hit that little bell so you get notified every time that I do a video. I would really ask if you people would please share it with your friends and family. I do believe that the word needs to get out, and this is really simple stuff to do. I mean, you could do this for like I do, basically hurricanes, you know, and this way here, even if something happens and they get wet, the food's still good, you know. And if you have them stored in buckets, it's easy to grab a bucket and go, and I store them in my buckets with what kind of products that I will need in that bucket. So every bucket has flour, sugar, pasta, so on and so forth. You probably get where I'm going with this. But thank you once again for all your everything you've done for my channel, for all the likes, for all the watches. Till next time, catch you on the flip side.